Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and you are listening to the Intro Podcast. I appreciate you guys for coming back once again, listening to the show, hopefully sharing it, because there are some important points that we'll bring out or talk about that would allow you to identify this show with somebody in your life, or you would just share it on your timeline because of the information that we share on today's show. It's going to be one of those shows for me. It's going to mean a lot because it's something that I have been dealing with myself for a very long time. And I think that if we would allow ourselves to be honest, I think it's something that we all deal with at some point in time in our life, and that's getting to worthy, getting to believe or understand that we are worthy of whatever we have or whatever is about to come. That's kind of a broad statement, but we'll definitely get into it in the show in just a minute. But before we start today's show, as you guys heard at the top, today's sponsor is Diane Klein. She's an independent associate with Legal Shield, offering legal services starting at $29.95 a month. Identity theft starting in $19.95. They also provide a living will. They assist with moving violations, contract reviews, and consultations. For more information, contact Diane Kleins at 214-881-5225 or go to dskleins.ladiesofjustice.com. That is not only for the DFW area. Wherever you are in the United States, if you need assistance with anything legal, pretty much, contact Diane Kleins. We'll actually have that information in the description of this show, but you could also check her out on our website to take you out directly to her website. But in the meantime, in between time, thank you guys so much for those of you who have inboxed and text message, and those who actually know me, who have called and reached out regarding my situation. We know that for the last couple months I've been dealing with this crazy situation. But for those of you who don't know, who are first-time listeners or who hadn't been listening in a while, let's say about 3-4 months ago, I was hit with what is called Bell's palsy. And I want to make sure that I am giving you guys good information on this. So I wanted to let you guys know what that is. First of all, it is a sudden weakness of muscles on half of the face. Bell's palsy may be a reaction of a viral infection. It rarely occurs more than once. Bell's palsy is characterized by muscle weakness that causes one side of the face to droop. Bell's palsy usually resolves on itself within 6 months. Physical therapy can help prevent muscles from permanently contracting. That is from Mayo Clinic. For the last couple months, I want to say 3 to 4 months now, I've been dealing with that, and it's a situation. And I guess before we get into the show, just to be transparent, because there's nothing about me that I don't just outright talk about. I mean, I don't know what a secret it looks like. So within the time of me dealing with the Bell's palsy and the reaction from being in the hospital and being out of the hospital and just having to deal with what comes with Bell's palsy, I'll tell you guys this. It's a physical thing, but it's definitely a mental thing, because like right now, DFW time, it is 3:27 a.m. These are the times whenever the lights, the glitz, the glamour, the people are not around, everybody is asleep. You deal with the fact that you're dealing with this. And I mean, just to be really honest, no, it does not feel good at all. But I'm still trusting God for my healing. I'm excited because I can look back to the 3 to 4 months when I first was hit with this, and I see a slow healing that God is doing in my life. So I'm excited about that. So I want to encourage anyone that's going through anything health-wise that doesn't seem like it's getting better because it's taken so long. My advice that I offer, because it's the advice that I'm taking on myself, it's just believe the process. I know you're probably looking at your phone or looking at your computer and you're like, believe what process? And all I can say is I have to believe it's gonna get better. So I believe for you too. But as I said at the top of the show, this is a different kind of topic because a lot of us struggle with not necessarily being able to admit that we actually struggle with this. The point of being worthy of whatever it is you have in your life, whether it's being worthy of love, being worthy of success, being worthy of whatever that is. I think it's called imposter syndrome. Yeah, this comes from medium.com. It says, I am worthy. Getting past anxiety and imposter syndrome to step into greatness. We're going to go through all of the preliminaries and we're just going to go straight to it. She says, this is from Melinda Epler. She says, you period, worthy period. You are worthy of success. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of opportunities to shine. You're worthy to belong, to be yourself completely. You are worthy of all the wonderful opportunities life put in front of you. Take those opportunities, live into them, leverage them to be your best self and to step into your greatness. Goes on to say realness. She's a white woman in the United States from a middle-class family without visible disability. So she has a lot of privilege compared to other people in the world. She says, I know there are many intersectional women and men who go through so much more than I have. This is especially for you. She says, let go of the teacher in 5th grade who told you that you couldn't do it. Let go of the teacher in 11th grade who told you that you were a terrible writer and that you wouldn't amount to anything. Let go of the kindergarten teacher who made you stay in and during recesses because you were too small to play kickball. She said, WTF, yep, wrong. You played varsity soccer and was one of the best players on the league. Let go of friends who talked over you and belittled you and never gave you an ounce of room in any conversation. Let go of family members, boyfriends who abused you and made you feel completely and utterly unworthy. It's one of the hardest things to let go of, but that is truly their mess. I'm not going to say exactly what she said. You're absolutely worthy of stepping away from that, leaving it in the past, and moving forward into love, into your own greatness. I believe that, and I'll say this for me, I'm at a point now to where I am having to, in order for me, and maybe you'll understand and maybe you'll agree, in order for me to get to a certain place in my life, to get to worthy, to get to where I know I belong here, I know I'm supposed to be here, I have to let go of things that was embedded in me from damn near elementary school, pretty much for me. Because like for me, because I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. I grew up born in Mississippi, where our house was probably the size of the studio room that I'm in right now. Moving to Lake Charles, Louisiana, living in trailers and living in really super small homes, not really having a lot of money, not really being able as a kid to do things that other kids was doing because we couldn't afford it. Although, hands down, I think I had one of the best mothers ever, because she, as a kid, I felt the sting of not having my mom. She did everything that she could to make sure that there was, a constant something in our lives that we had, so that we just didn't necessarily feel like we were just completely left out. So I'll always appreciate her for that. But I am now at 42 years old having to understand that some of these things that I went through would make me look at where I am now and sometimes not even realize where I am as opposed to where I've been, what I have as opposed to what I've been through, how I feel as opposed to how I felt before, because sometimes the voice creeps back up and it's like, no, you still can't. No, you still won't. No, you still can't afford. No, your health still says this. But I'm learning that it's just a voice. And I have to get to a place to where I'm getting to a place now to where when I think about what I've been through, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm worthy of everything that I have. When I think about the times growing up, whenever holidays came around and my mom couldn't necessarily afford something for everybody, so she either done the very little for everybody, or she concentrated on one more than the other, to where now there are certain things, if I want it, I can just go out and get it. I'm worthy of that, because I've been through what I had to go through to get here. No, it definitely has not been an easy road. Ain't nothing about my life that has been easy. I've shared plenty of times, whether it be because of church or whether it just be because of just life in general. Life has not been easy. And let me do this disclaimer. Whenever I say church, I'm not meaning anything directly with God. It's the people who represent him. Even through, situations with family and friends and associates, because you don't live your life according to the way that they want you to live. Everything that you know that you're good at doing, or even things that they know you're good at doing, they don't acknowledge it because you're not basically living according to what they say it's supposed to be. See, I've been there, because those of you who know me know that pretty much since birth, all I've ever done is music. All I've ever done is sing and play keys all my life. But growing up, even whenever I lived in Louisiana and I was playing for churches or whatever, people were quick to let me know in their mind, you're not good. You're no good. This is not yada yada, because you don't sound like this whenever you sing, or you don't hit these chords whenever you play. So after a while, stuff like that, it beat my brains. It beat my heart. It beat my focus, to where, although I knew it wasn't right, I knew it wasn't true, I started to believe it, because I was hearing that more than I was hearing the encouragement. And I think for me, one of the things that really let me down, again, just being completely transparent, and I've shared before, is the situation where whenever one of the ministries that I dealt with the bulk of my younger life, I got tired of having to travel with the pastor who would, I'm not even going to say trying, but a pastor from New York or evangelist from New York who was, trying to freak your boy. And in some cases, freaking your boy. And I reached out to my leaders at the time because, I was super close to them and to their child, or at least I thought I was. But that reach out probably shouldn't have been done because it did not work out the way I thought it was going to, or the way it probably should have, because even after I reached out for help to not have to deal with that situation anymore, I was faced with it 10 times worse. So, and no, I don't necessarily blame that for the lifestyle that I lead now or who I choose to love now. But I will say this, it definitely dampened that part of my life to where I wanted to, first of all, I wanted to give up on everything, no lie. Because I figured that if everybody says that this is wrong, and I'm trying to reach out to get help because it's wrong, and nobody, everybody, the one thing I hate more than anything is whenever people say pray, talk to God and just leave it in his hands. No, I need some physical work. I need some physical hands on this situation. At least for me, that'll let me see that somebody care. That'll let me see that somebody understand where I am, instead of just pray about it. Yes, I believe God is able to do each and everything that I ask or desire, but sometimes physical, face-to-face comeback is really good. But I wasn't able to get that. So now, because I am a part of the LGBTQ community or whatever, I had to get to the point that although that happened to me, where I am now, or where I'm pushing to get to. Well, no, not even pushing to get to, but where I am now, whether it be in music or whether it be in this podcasting industry, or even where it is in church or whatever, I'm worthy because I have paid the price. I've went through dealing with, because it felt like did nobody care. I wanted to kill myself. I tried suicide so many times and it didn't work. And after the last time I tried, and I ended up in a hospital in Fort Worth, Texas, because I tried to drink myself until I couldn't drink no more. But whenever I looked around at my surroundings in that hospital, I was like, God, no offense, but I'm nothing like none of these people here. I am nothing like none of these people here. So I allowed hurt. I allowed rejection. I allowed abuse. Because, in today's church, whenever, people find out that you're a part of the LGBTQ community, they ready to get rid of you. Trust me. I'm not saying, call you to the side and be like, no, we ain't. No, they ready to excommunicate you, as they say. So I'm eating some boiled peanuts. That's the countryside of me. I love boiled peanuts. But I had to get past the fact that regardless of all those things that happened to me, even after I moved to the DFW area, still having to deal with preachers and evangelists and all of these people who would tell me how wrong it is, but be the main ones trying to get with me. I lost hope in church. I'm not gonna lie. I made a post about 2 days ago that, due to everything that I've dealt with in church or with church people, I lost hope to where I didn't want to do nothing anymore, because it seemed like every time I tell people, I deserve, or I am worthy of a relationship with God, because since I've entered into this whole church arena from 12 years old up until 42 years old, it's always been a fight. It's always been a fight from being young. You don't sing like everybody else. You don't sound like everybody else. You don't play like everybody else. But then later on, it was because you don't look like everybody else. You know, you're not a part of the in crowd. And then it came to the preachers and the pastors that wanted to have sex with me. But then after that, it became, well, because you're gay, because you're part of the LGBTQ community, we definitely don't want to have anything to do with you. And I'm sitting back and I'm thinking and I'm looking to myself and I'm like, but y'all the ones that's trying to talk to me. So I had to get to a point to where just recently, while I was in the hospital with Bell's palsy, I had two individuals, a bishop and his wife. Anytime I would post anything about me being sick or being in the hospital, dealing with Bell's palsy, they would always comment on the post, or if it was a picture or a video, and they would really encourage me. And, you know, for me, it kept my spirits up, because clearly, I'm not the person that's going to try to hide anything that I am. I live my life out loud, and it's your choice or your opportunity to say, yes, I want to be a part of it, or hell no. Well, and in knowing that, what made me feel a lot better is they didn't base their comments or their love or the attention that they gave me on trying to pray the gay away. Let me say it again. They didn't concentrate on trying to pray the gay away. They just saw a person in need. And the post I made about two days ago was like, they love what they see you like God see you. They don't condone it. Let me put that out there. And I had to put that in the post also. No, they don't condone, but they also don't condemn. They see you with God's eyes. They see you with love. They see you with care and compassion. And who am I talking about? I'm sorry, I still haven't said their names. Bishop Sherman C.G. Allen and co-pastor Tanya Allen of Christ Cathedral Church, Fort Worth, Texas. It took me a long time to get to I'm worthy of a relationship with God. Took me a long time to get to a point to say I'm worthy to have someone that I can trust in my life as a visionary, as a leader, as a mentor, because so many things within the years of my life told me everything different. I heard way too many times of everything that I wasn't supposed to be, or everything that I wasn't going to be able to do, or things that everybody was doing better than me. But I'm at a point, or at a stage of worthy now, because they don't see any of that negativity. As a matter of fact, everything that I do, they push, they encourage, they invest in. And sometimes, God has to, separate you from certain people to get you to the point of worthy. Because some people will only see you as what they see you as. Let me say it again. Some people will only see you as what they see you as and where they see you are. And they'll never ever see anything different. They'll never see you growing. They'll never see you becoming a better person. They'll never see you becoming wealthy. They'll never see you becoming professional, because all they see, or all they want to see, is you at their level, because they don't have any intentions on growing. They don't have any intentions on becoming anything more. So because I don't feel, or I know that I'm not going to become, it's like I'm not going to push or project for you to become anything greater because you're going to leave me. So in order to keep you around, I have to let you know that I only see you as this. And for the person who's insecure, your sense of worthy goes out the door because you stop trying, because your circle, your friends, your family, your people, all they do is talk to you on the level that you are. They only see you on the level that you are. So because that's your complete circle, whatever they say is what you become. Well, for me, I don't even know how it happened, but it happened to where, like, my circle now is different. First of all, it's super, super small. Excuse me. I'm dealing with this lung infection also. Y'all pray for your boy. I learned that having a small circle, although sometimes it may seem hella lonely, it is so much worth it. Because now I only try to have people in my life or people around me who has something to do with the industry that I'm in, has something to do with God positively, or even in the lifestyle, somebody who doesn't condemn, or somebody who wants to see me be better. Those are the things, for me, those are the characteristics of people that I want in my life, because in my journey to worthy, having somebody that's contrary to any of that is a detriment. If you can't see me past where I am right now, and all you do is talk to me about right now, whenever it's time for me to see myself somewhere else, I won't, because the only thing I'm being fed is this is the best it's gonna get. But for me, one of the things that I appreciate is the fact that the best is yet to come. No, like literally the best is yet to come. And it's up to me to decide what I'm going to do to get there. What am I going to do to get to worthy? Yes, I've had some ups, I've had some downs. I've been sick. I've done the jail thing. I've lost relationships. I've lost family. My mom is gone. Never had a father. Only one of my brothers really deal with me, so I have to deal with that rejection. A lot of my other family members only talk to me whenever we all together. I don't really have a lot of friends because I have to deal with the insecurity of, are you here because you want to be here for me, or are you here because you're trying to get something, and after you get it, you leave? So in dealing with all of those things, I have to decide what is the energy I want in my life. What is the energy that's going to get me to worthy? Because through everything that I've been through everything that I've had to suffer, through everything that I've lost, there's still something on the other side of all of that. There's still something on the other side of losing. And sometimes we deal with, after we've gotten there, we deal with, oh my God, what about everybody else that was with me that didn't make it? See, that's the bad part. We often play it down whenever we have reached the successful part of our lives, because then we start thinking about everyone else who started out with us who didn't make it. And then we start feeling like we shouldn't be here because they're not here too, because we made a pact that, well, if we do this, we're going to do this together. But then some way, somehow, they fall off. And whenever they fall off, it's like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be a CEO. I'm not supposed to be doing good in music. I'm not supposed to be doing good at whatever the the job or the career is, because there's so many other people who started out with me who didn't make it, or who's not with me now. So it fights against the ability to feel worthy. It fights against the ability to be like, I deserve this. Stop that. I was about to say something else, but I'm afraid that I'm going to have my leaders or somebody going to listen to this. So I have to watch what I say and how I say it. But we have to get past who's not here, because I honestly believe that there are some people in our lives that started out with us that God never wanted in our future. So there are some things that God will allow to happen to shake people apart, shake people away from us, because he wants us to get there, but he don't want them with us when we get there. Like, he wants us to get to worthy. Because whenever we get to worthy, there's something that falls in our hands or something that falls in our lap that'll change our whole entire life. Or even the process of getting there can change our whole entire life. But there are some people who God is like, I don't want them there. They are not ordained. So then the question is, who or what are we holding on to that is stopping us in our process of worthy? Which is why I say I don't really kick it with a lot of people no more. If you see my circle, you know it's the same people for years. Because I want to get there. I want to feel something I haven't felt in a long time. I want to go somewhere I haven't gone in a long time. And the only way to get there is if I have the right vibe around me. So getting to worthy for me is simple. Now it's simple. It wasn't before. But getting to worthy for me is being able to let go of everything that is against what worthy is in my life. Where they probably said I wouldn't make it, I tell myself I'm on the way. When they tell me I'm not good enough, I tell them I'm overqualified. Well, Troy, you don't sing like everybody else. Well, my voice is different. Troy, you don't play like everybody else. My chords are still anointed. Case in point, I've been sitting in for a church here in Dallas, and they had a meeting after service today, and they hired somebody, and sure enough, he's a great guy, because whenever they talked about him a couple weeks ago in front of the church, they gave his credentials on who he was and what kind of guy he was. And I never heard at one time in the credentials how anointed he was. I heard about how he's kicked it with with Fred Hammond in commission, how he's a married man to one wife, and how he's a teacher at a school. But I didn't hear about how he's anointed to shift atmospheres and all of these things. For me, because I tried to do different, I tried to be different in that arena. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt me today whenever I got the message. But my journey to worthy in music is, some churches don't necessarily, they want skill over anointing. They're not worried about shifting atmosphere. They're worried about a sound, not a movement. So even that, I'm still worthy of greatness in music. I'm still great. I'm still worthy of, if God would lead to another position in the church to do what I do, I'm worthy of it. I just have to not let this boggle me down and make me feel any different. I believe, whatever God's will is in that part of my life will be done. Whatever the assignment is, God, I told him, God, I'm here for it. But let me ask you this. What are you dealing with that is keeping you from worthy? What are you dealing with that, regardless to how much you try to not think about it or how much you try to get over it, because it doesn't seem like where you are is where you thought you would be, with who you thought you would be, or dealing with everything that you thought you would be dealing with? Are you struggling to get to what you believing that you're worthy of it? Because whenever you truly believe that you're worthy of wherever you are, your reaction to it or how you live in it will change your life. Because you will have an appreciativeness for it, if that is even a real word. You will appreciate it. Do me a favor right now. I dare you, if you're listening to this right now, tell yourself, say, I'm worthy. Not like really. Tell yourself, say, I'm worthy. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to have this. I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing. I'm worthy. Regardless of what I've been through, I'm worthy. Regardless of how many people told me I'd never make it, I made it, so I'm worthy. One of the biggest things of getting to worthy, whenever it involves other people, one of the biggest things that I'm dealing with is forgiveness. That's big. But again, we deal with it according to how we, on our own accord. But I encourage you, the listener, to get to worthy. Do you know someone who's dealing with a situation like this? Do me a favor and share this show. The title of it is going to be super simple. Probably something like I'm Worthy, Journey to Worthiness, or something like that. Share this show with someone who needs to know. This is your boy Tazz. You've been listening to the Intro Podcast. Do me a favor, subscribe wherever you're hearing this if it's your first time. If you're on Spotify, there's a poll that you can let us know what you think about the show, or you can email us at spotlightmedia.info@gmail.com. Follow us on all social media at the Intro Podcast. You can also follow me personally at iamtrevayne, TREVAYNE. I look forward to the next show. I think today I'll be working with somebody else, and we'll do a show today also. But before I close, it's simple. I just want to let you know you're worthy.